Sunday. Whew. I'm a little out of breath. I just ran around the property feeding all of our furry friends and feathery friends and turning on the creek and everything. It is cold out there. It is about 20 some degrees, but I got the heater on in here, so we're warming back up again. But anyway, hello. Happy Sunday. If you don't know who I am, I'm Tara with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot, and you can learn a little bit more about me by checking out the information down below, maybe checking out my website, kittensweightsandtarot.com, checking out the Witchy Shop, Desert Cauldron, all that good stuff, maybe signing up for the newsletter, which, by the way, the January newsletter came out on the 1st. So if you're interested in getting those monthly newsletters, definitely consider signing up. And my goodness. It's like it's so much harder to breathe when it's cold outside. Anyway, we do have, they say, snow in the forecast. Not a whole lot of snow, but we are supposed to have a little bit coming up, I think, on Tuesday. And I think the last time we had snow was for a day or so, the first week of November. So I guess, you know, the forest might need it because we didn't really have too much of a monsoon season and there's not really any snow this winter. So the forest is a little dehydrated and is going to need some of that precipitation. So anywho, how are you guys doing? Let me know how your Sunday is going. If you have any plans for today, maybe have some plans for this upcoming week, which, by the way, tomorrow is Triple Goddess Day. And that reminds me what we are going to be doing today. So on Thursday, I put out a poll for my YouTube members, my Patreon homies, and everybody here on YouTube. And it looks like, for the most part, everybody wanted to do DIY Triple Goddess earrings. So I'm so excited. I have all of my jewelry making equipment here. I'm so excited for this. Hey, Stormy Fever is here. It says it's been snowing here in the UK. Stay warm for sure. Oh, speaking of earrings, I want to show off these like ear cuffs that my friend Heather got me, Silver Star Priestess. So bam, it's like little elf ears, but there's little designs in here, like there's like little mushrooms and fairies, and it's got some dingle dangly bobs. So I thought that was pretty cool. So I got like elf ears right now. Oh my goodness. And also, to stay warm, I've made myself a little tea. This tea actually comes from my neighbor across the way, Angie. So Angie, if you're ever watching, thank you. But this is green tea and chai, which are my two favorite teas. So when you put them together, magic. Anyway. Oh, yeah. All right, you guys. So what I want to start off with today is going into our weekly reading. As we do, I have some decks that I've picked for this week. We'll go into that, and then afterwards, it's DIY time. After our DIY, if you're looking for a one-card reading, we will do super chats and super stickers after we finish making our dingly dangly earrings. Well, I don't know if they're going to be dangly earrings. I don't know. We'll let our intuition guide us. But yeah, after our DIY project, we'll do those super chats, super stickers. If you're looking for a card pull for the week, for something specific, maybe just general guidance, maybe connecting to your higher self, who knows? We'll definitely tap in. And then after that, we'll do our channeled guided meditation. Hey, Lily. Oh yeah, by the way, we have a channeling video coming out tomorrow, 8 a.m. 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. So that'll be 7 a.m. Pacific and 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have taken a couple of weeks off, you know, just the last 2 weeks of the year off, to kind of recalibrate for those channelings. So they're going to be done a little bit differently. I think this is going to be a lot of fun, you guys. So tomorrow's channeling is on spirit attachment. I also recorded the channeling on slavery for my Patreon group. So Patreon, expect that to be coming out this week for you guys as well. I'll give you guys the link. But yes, the spirit attachment video going to be a little different. I actually forgot my microphones for that one, so the audio is okay, but it's, it doesn't sound as crisp, with my bougie microphones. But I actually, for New Year's, spent the time in the Valley in Casa Grande with my best friends, Tamika and Tone. Love you guys. And they're 4 wonderful boys, my nephews, my godsons, love them. But my oldest nephew, Tamron, he actually helped out with the video along with his father. So they were the ones asking questions. And I thought it would be a lot of fun if for these channeling videos moving forward, if we could have perhaps like different people asking questions for these channelings, because although James does a fantastic job asking questions, he comes up with questions I didn't even think to ask, but I know that we all have different perspectives. We're all in different places in our journey. We all have different questions we want to ask for these channeling videos. So I am going to be putting it out there for my Patreon homies, for YouTube members, and also for you guys as well. If anybody would like to be a part of that, it would look like this. So we would go probably on StreamYard. We'd do a pre-recorded video. If you're not comfortable showing your face on camera, that's fine. You could just like put a little icon up or a picture or something. But anyway, it would be where I would come up with the topic. That person would ask the questions. I would channel just like we do with James. And then we would release those videos. So that way people can get different interviewers, different types of questions, different types of backgrounds and belief systems. And, just I think it's going to be so unique. That's something that I want to do for this year. So if you are interested in that, anybody who's watching the replay, anybody who's watching right now, my email address is in that description. I believe once you get past, it says like, do you want to be a patron, YouTube member? And then it has my website. Underneath that, it says, this is my email address. So it's tara@kittensweightsandtarot.com. Email me and say, yes, I would like to be an interviewer. Like I said, if you're not comfortable being on camera, you don't have to show your face on camera. All we need are your wonderful questions to ask. You ask questions, I'll channel. And then that gives other people ideas for the one-on-one channelings that I offer on my website, where it's basically the same thing. Somebody comes in and says, hey, I want to channel my higher self, or I would like to channel my grandmother, or can we channel an Arcturian or something like that. They ask questions, I channel, and then for those I do audio recordings and I send it off to them. But for our YouTube videos, the person would ask questions and then we would release that as our Monday video. So that way you guys get every Monday a different interviewer. And I think that's going to be a lot of fun, something different for 2025. Almost said for 2025. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of that. So I am so proud of Tamron because he is turning, oh my gosh, this month he will be 23. I remember when his mom, Tamika, was pregnant with him. That's how crazy time flies. But anyway, I think he did a wonderful job interviewing, and his dad was able to help out on that video. So that again will be released tomorrow at 8 a.m. Again, it's going to be a little different. I'm still trying to figure out kind of how, like, what I want to do for, like, do I do clips of other things? But we'll see about that. And then for my Patreon peeps and YouTube members, you guys have the channeling on slavery coming out. And actually Tamron solely did that one. He was just the question asker for that one. So yay, I'm proud of him. Tamron, I love you. Auntie loves you. Lily said, ooh. So those are the updates for my channel. So yes, we will do the channelings a little bit differently. I think it's going to be really fun having different interviewers. And like I said, if you are interested and you don't have to be on camera, if you've always wanted to just ask your own questions, and essence, it is kind of like getting a free one-on-one channeling technically. So yeah, just email me. I'm going to put this shout out onto Instagram as well, just kind of opening it up. I'll let Patreon and my YouTube members know, like, hey, this is open to everyone. This is open to you guys. And yeah, we'll start recording those videos. I plan on doing a few more deck reviews. I want to get back to that because that's normally like why people originally came to my channel in the first place. I was going back in my old videos, like my very first videos I ever did on YouTube. And it was weekly readings. I think I did, or no, it was monthly readings. I did monthly readings and then I did deck reviews. And a lot of people love my deck reviews. So, hey, I have like a ton of decks I could review. So I'll go back to doing my deck reviews as well. So I'm excited for this, you guys. I'm really excited. This is going to be fun for sure. Okay. Sorry, my nose is a little runny. Give me just a second. When it gets cold, it gets runny. Okay, I have a few decks for this week, so let me know what you guys are working with. But I have the Universal Folk Tarot, and actually this was a gift from my friend out in Belgium, Steph. Love you, girl, my cosmic sis. I also have the Universal Folk Oracle. And I have the Nature Speak Oracle. These are just all the decks I have for this week. Not necessarily going to read with all of these today, but I'm just showing them off. I have my Druid Craft, which, by the way, that is also James's favorite deck, although his is edged and trimmed, and I think his is just fabulous. I also have my, this one is the Druid Plant Oracle. Yes. And I have trimmed and edged this in green. And I also added a few of my own cards in there. And I also have from the same artiste, Will Worthington, who did Druid Craft. I also have my, hold on. These cards do not belong. I also have my Camelot Oracle from Will Worthington, or the art from Will Worthington as well. I have that edged in kind of a brick red, but I think taking away the borders was a great idea for this deck. So I have that going on. Other decks, I have just a couple here. I have my Witch Sister Tarot, so kind of feeling these vibes as we go into, we've passed the winter solstice. The days are technically still getting a little longer, but still in those winter vibes, especially since, hey, maybe we'll have snow on Tuesday. Hey, Silver Star Priestess is here. Mwah! She says, hello, Grand Rising. Hey, Silver Star, you recognize anything? I also have my Natalie Rose Winter Solstice Lenormand. All right, so hold on. Do I have these cards upside down? No, they're the right side up. Okay. So let's pull some cards for this weekly reading, shall we? And by the way, if you have a deck that you are working with, please do let us know. If you are just pulling down those messages straight from your higher self, channeling them, which awesome, definitely let us know. Maybe you're using another magical tool. Maybe you're using runes. Maybe you're using a pendulum, Ouija board. I don't know, but let us know and offer your guidance as well. I think that it creates for a more well-rounded weekly reading instead of just getting all the messages from my higher self. I'd like to hear from your higher selves as well. I think it just creates more richness in the reading. Okay, let's use Druid Craft. Let's do it. And while we're at it, let's show a little love to some of our friends here. Silver Star says, ooh, they look cute, definitely fitting. Yes, I'm like, oh my gosh, I love my elf ears. And plus, I can hear the dingly danglies. I'm like, I'm such a nerd. Anyway, for my YouTube members, thank you for being a member, supporting, and starting off 2025 with me. So Kayla and Nancy, Astrid, Jolene, love you guys. Also to my patrons, Lily and Dana, Jamie, Kayla, Surian, Brandy, Jason, Brian, Karen, Sarah, Paulu, Crystal, Easy Does It, Oz, Joel, Mikey, and Casey Gritter. So thank you guys. Love you all so much. And also to my beautiful subscribers, we are almost at 10,700 and some change subscribers. That is freaking amazing. So what a wonderful way to start off 2025. Thank you for all of the support. Thank you to my mighty moderators. You know who they are because they have the wrench of power right next to their name. And Stormy Fever, by the way, can't forget Stormy Fever, also one of my YouTube members. You notice right next to Stormy Fever's name, you'll see the little colored kitty head. So all of my YouTube members have a little colored kitty head right next to their name as well. And they also have very special emojis that they are able to use that nobody else has access to unless you're a YouTube member. So just little perks here and there. Superstar says, they were so cute. I almost got me some. You know, seriously, I was looking at like a pair of ear cuffs, like Elfie ear cuffs, and I was just about to buy them for myself when I saw that you had gotten them. And I was like, oh my gosh, you read my freaking mind. This is how we are like simpatico, like soul sisters. Okay, so let us get on with this week. Ooh, you know what? I want to pull a Nature Speak, like overview of the week card as well. And then I can't wait to get into this DIY. I love making jewelry, especially earrings. I don't know why, earrings are just so much fun. One day when I get good at wire wrapping, which actually James is really good at doing wire wraps like pendants and things like that. I want to learn how to wire wrap so that I can create like my own pendants. I want to create rings and things like that and maybe put them out on the Desert Cauldron shop. So by the way, if you have ideas, not just for like my YouTube channel or my shop, but check out Desert Cauldron. And if you have, you know, witchy things that you would like me to offer on that shop, you know, let me know. That'd be great. To shuffle. Okay, looks like we have our card there. Nature Speak Oracle, Fireman, Ted Andrews. Rest in peace, homie. Although you are now free of your body and part of the beautiful essence of energy that permeates all. So love you, dude. Okay, now let's pull a few cards from our Druidcraft Tarot. As you can see, they're rather large. That's probably why James at one point had trimmed his down. He is not a fan of borders. Okay, dokie. Shri-Hit, we are going to be doing readings after our DIY. We're going to be DIYing some earrings. So if you are interested in that afterwards, we are going to be doing super chats and super stickers for those one card readings. So if you're interested, definitely stick around. Okay, so let's see our overarching card. Ooh, we have our desert card for this week. It says resilience and strength. Whew. Well, it just kind of hearing from a lot of friends as well as strangers, you know, people, you know, I watch on the interwebs and just kind of like hearing through the grapevine with other people that people have really gone through the ringer in 2024. There was a lot of letting go, release, separation. My neighbor across the way, there's, you know, there's some family stuff going on there. There are people that have gone through divorces. There are people that are going through breakups. There are friendships that kind of like just, split. There are people that split from their jobs. But it didn't seem gradual either, from what I've heard from folks in 2024, especially towards the end. It seemed like it came out of nowhere, left field, just like, all of a sudden this person isn't my friend anymore. This person, I'm, not in this situation anymore, or I'm no longer at this job anymore. And so I think a lot of people are still feeling the effects of that. And, according to the Mayan, everything bleeds into everything else. So, just because the Gregorian calendar says that if this is the 31st and now here is January 1st, we're in a brand new year. I feel that everything kind of just, settles into itself. And there's a lot of other calendars out there. So just technically, because the world has decided that the Gregorian calendar is our calendar, doesn't necessarily mean that that's the calendar, a lot of other people are still working with. Like the Mayan, they have the Hab calendar, which is kind of like our Gregorian calendar, but they also have the Tzolk'in calendar, which is a 260-day calendar. There are lunar calendars. There are, so many other types of ways of, bringing in a new year. So with all of this bleed through, what I'm trying to say is, we may for a while still feel a little bit of that 2024 energy. And now that we're in this kind of newer energy and we're kind of rolling into it, we can utilize this newer energy to help us heal from the energy that we just came off of. Like for me, the Tower card was my card of the year for 2024. This year, my card is the Star card, which yay. And I will say for me, or for James and I, we had a Tower moment. James and I have separated, so that's why I haven't heard too much from him and all of that. But yeah, he's doing okay. He's back home, back home in California. But we will see each other again. We still have some things to work through, and we've been doing a lot of healing. I'm going to continue to do my healing. I've chosen to be more on a solo journey for a little while. He's going to be doing a lot of healing, but yeah, it was intense. We're still kind of feeling through that. And so I definitely understand what this card is saying for, this week, is that we're going to start feeling kind of some of that remembrance that change is the only constant really that there is. And although some of that change doesn't always feel good to us, or it's not always comfortable, we always have the strength to carry on. It's right there inside of us. We are multidimensional beings. So definitely, as you are going through this week, tap into that multidimensional self, whether you do it through meditation or however it is that you connect to your intuition, you connect to your higher self, and just be reminded of the strength that is there. And although, yes, the emotions and all the feelings and all of this you might be going through, don't try to stifle those emotions or just let them, go all willy-nilly, but try to understand them. And in understanding them, we also reclaim our power, because it shows us where we need to heal and how we can kind of regain our footing once again. So I'm really feeling that card, that resilience and strength. Let's see, let's go back here. Lily says, Band-Aids getting ripped off. Yes. And Silverstard said, this year has been particularly rough on us all. Yes, I agree. Okay, so let's see what Druidcraft had for us. And we have the Prince of Swords. We have the Two of Pentacles. And then we have the Princess of Swords. Well, that's interesting. We have these two flanking what was in the middle, which is the Two of Pentacles. A very masculine and feminine energy. So let me dive into these two. Okay, so this is actually more keeping an eye on, as we go through things that are difficult, something to take a look at, and this is going to be different for all of us, something to take a look at are what energy do you most embrace when you feel like things have become rather difficult in your life? For some people, we embrace the divine feminine. Perhaps we go into the shadow aspect of the divine feminine. Perhaps we go into the extreme light aspect of the divine feminine when things are difficult. And maybe it's vice versa for others. Maybe either they go into the extreme of the shadow or the light aspect of the masculine when things get tough. Or maybe it's somewhere in the middle, but it's definitely good to have a little check in this week of which energy we are embracing most and then trying to understand why. Let's say, for instance, for myself, I know that when things become difficult, I tend to embrace my masculine energy. And I do understand that because just growing up the way I grew up, part of the ways of protecting myself, I protected myself within my shadow aspect of my masculine. And so it was a way of not allowing flow or understanding emotion or allowing my intuition in as a form of self-protection as a child. And so as an adult, it kind of became my go-to that if things become difficult or I know that there's something I got to do, I just automatically go into my masculine, but not just the middle path masculine. I go into the shadow aspect of the masculine. So that's something I ask for you guys as well, is just what aspect are you going into when things get rough? And then when it's time to heal, what aspect do you go into there as well? And in doing that, we can kind of go walk backwards, in our healing and in our meditations. Where did I learn that from? Where did I learn to embrace this aspect when things are going, not so great. And then when I decide it's time to heal, why do I embrace this aspect? Where did I learn that from? And it's always just good to figure out where we got our programming from, why we do the things we do. And the more we ask ourselves these questions, the more clarity we have on ourselves, the more clarity we have in ourselves, the more clear we are in our choices and our path forward. So I hope this helps you guys for this week. So let me put these guys off to the side. I'm so excited. It is DIY time, y'all. All right. Let's put this like this. Okay, we're going to have a little bit more tea. And then I'm going to show you the tools I am working with. So let me put this down here so I can make room on this table. Give me just a second there. Okay. Oh, there we go. Sorry, making room. There's a fly in here. Go away, fly. Nobody asked you. Okay. So I have my little candle. If I'm ever going to be doing any form of magical creation, whether I'm drawing something or I'm making something, or, in this case, we're making jewelry, I like to light a candle just to kind of bring in the warmth, bring in the light. And I don't know, it's just something that feels really good to my soul. So we'll be lighting that in just a moment. But here are my supplies. So I don't always use all of these little tools, but I have, different type pliers. I have like round nose pliers for some of the wire stuff. I have, my little choppers, and then other little bent, type pliers. So those are off to the side there. In here, I have all of the like different types of, I don't know, like earring hooks, like fish hooks and posts for making earrings. So actually, let me leave this open because we're going to use it. Oh, hey, Laverne is here. Hello, and Happy New Year to you as well. Okay, I also have my little jump rings. You've come just in time. We are going to get ready to make some magical jewelry, some magical earrings, actually, to be specific. And then I have this little bin here, has a lot of my jewelry making equipment. So I have these little kind of bendy posts, and that's actually what I use to make the jump rings, or sorry, the hoops and everything for my earrings. So if I'm going to be using beads and everything, I usually put them on here, and then I make a little like loop. You'll see in just a moment. And then I have different like little spacers and things like that just to make them fun. Oh, message from Spirit. You know, we are going to be, after we make some earrings today, we're going to be doing our super chats and super stickers. So if you are interested, let me know. Let's see. And I also have some of my wire here. But I usually use this for making necklaces, like beaded necklaces. So we're going to leave that just kind of closed for now. I'm just going to focus on what's on top, which is just my spacers and kind of some of my bendy wire and stuff like that. I do like to use the lid to kind of keep all my stuff on, because otherwise they just roll all over the table. So that's just my thing. And then in here, I have all of my beads. So we're going to be getting some inspo in just a moment. If you guys are interested in how you can do like your own beading, like how to make your own earrings or your own necklaces and things like that, I highly recommend this book here. This is called Easy Beading, Fast, Fashionable, and Fun, from the publishers of Bead Style magazine. But yeah, I got this like a long time ago. Gosh, this was like in the bargain bin at Barnes and Noble. When's the last time I stepped foot into a Barnes and Noble? But anyway, yeah. So if you're interested in making your own jewelry, this kind of how to do it. Plus, it gives you tons of ideas of like designs and things like that. Okie dokie, artichoke. All right, so I'm gonna have that just like that. So let's take a look at the beads I have here. And Silver Star says, Laverne, hello, welcome in and Happy New Year's. And she said, no problemo. All right, so in here I have some of my New Mexican turquoise. I also have some rose quartz in here, and I have some black obsidian. So if we're gonna, we'll keep that out. Okay, other beads, I have bumblebee jasper. This is actually part of a bracelet that I made before, but the bracelet broke. And I kind of like when my necklaces and my bracelets break, because this gives me like the permission to create something new out of them. So I'm never really one that's like, oh man, my bracelet broke. Arr! And then I try to recreate the same thing. I'm like, my bracelet broke. I'm like, maybe I can make a bunch of earrings out of this. Or maybe, maybe I could redo it with like these beads. So for me, I love kind of when my jewelry breaks. Is that weird? And anyway, I also have these moonstone, beautiful moonstone beads, and they were actually part of a bracelet as well that broke, actually right before a channeling that I did. Hey, Lady Night is here. Hey, mwah! Happy New Year to you as well. Yay! Silver Star says, I think I bought my first tarot deck in '99 from the bookstore. Been a long time, or it might have been Media Play. I can't remember. Let's see. When did I get my first tarot deck? Like the first one that was mine. You know what? I think it was '99. That's right, because it was the tail end of when I was in high school, just before college, and I went to it wasn't Barnes and Noble, because I don't think we had a Barnes and Noble in my area. It was just one of those like little bookstores that you have in the mall. I was gonna say Brookstone, but that's a totally different store. No, it was like book something. I forgot, but yeah, that's where I got my very first deck. And now I can't remember the name of it. I have it still. Well, technically, I have a copy of it because I gave my original copy to one of my good friends who was also my vocal teacher when I was practicing for the opera. So she got my very first deck, and then I realized I missed it. And so I got like the whatever 20th anniversary version of that deck. And it's by Farber. The last names are Farber. It's a husband and wife. Oh, the Enchanted Tarot. Haha, I remember. Okay. I also have some little beads that just from various like things that, knickknacks and here and there. So some of it's turquoise, some of it's just glass beads. I have some lava stone in here. Who knows what we're going to be working with, but I'll leave this open as well. I'm just showing you what we're working with here. Silver Star said, good memories. Definitely, definitely. Okay, so I have some more Bumblebee Jasper. Ooh, I just want to drop this. But in here, I have white turquoise, which I don't think a lot of people know what white turquoise is. But I have white turquoise. I have, let's see, hawk's eye. I have eagle's eye and tiger's eye and blue tiger's eye. I also have a turquoise bead, but I have to re-drill the hole in this one, so I don't think I can use this one. So I have to bring out my little Dremel again and do some re-holing, which, by the way, I love my Dremel. I love making my own like little beads, and I've done it with the copal on the property. So like the sap that is hardened into some really, really tough resin, like from the pinyon pines. I was able to make some earrings for James's mom using that pinyon pine resin. So anytime it starts to get warm, she'll start to smell some of that pinyon pine, when she wears them on her ears. So I thought that would be cool. I also have some labradorite beads. Like I said, I have tiger's eye, but I also have blue tiger's eye. I have hawk's eye as well. And then some of them are just like these ones here I got from, it's antique Himalayan beads, or from the Himalayas, from a husband and wife group that I used to visit. Back when I lived in San Diego, I used to go to the gem fair there, and I used to visit their booth all the time. They must think I fell off the face of the earth or something since I moved from San Diego. I also have some freshwater pearls. We'll see. I might use some pearls actually, because pearl is my birthstone. And I'm going to be doing triple goddess earrings, so. All right. What else do I have in here? Oh, that's right. I have some beads left over from this ginormous mala I made for myself. So I have a couple bits of like dyed river stone, so blue and purple, but I also have onyx, and I also have, a couple of pieces of those moonstone beads. So that's going to be fun. Okay. Yay. I am so excited. Okay. We have all of the beads here. I think I should point the camera down, because otherwise you're like, what are you making? What's going on? Silver Star says, was gonna ask how you could do that. So yeah, we're gonna do this together now. Okay, so let's have some tea. We're gonna light our candle. I have a backup candle in case this candle burns down. And then I have some incense that I picked up at the Goodwill for like 25 cents because the package was opened and somebody didn't want their incense. But this is like vanilla incense sticks. And I have my little incense guy. Check this guy out. He is my cool ass dragon. And I got this in the Bay Area, actually, with James and his family. And you remove his nose here, and basically you put the incense stick in there, and then all the smoke comes out his nostrils and everything. And I posted a little something about that yesterday on my @desert.cauldron stories on Instagram. So definitely go check it out. Lady Knight says, missed the beginning. What are you making? I'm going to be making some earrings. We're going to be making some triple goddess earrings because tomorrow is considered triple goddess day. So recognizing the maiden, mother, and crone aspect that is in everything. So looking at the divine feminine aspect, while we are also in the divine masculine aspect at the moment, because at the winter solstice, as many of you already know, it was considered the victory of the oak king over the holly king, basically the return of the sun. And in many religions, they might talk about a returning of the sun, or the son of the father, winning, over darkness or over evil. When really it's could also be seen as the light overtaking the darkness, because our days are becoming much longer. So that's a very masculine energy. To balance out that very masculine energy of these lengthening of the days, we are also honoring our triple goddess aspects, not only within us, but also within everything else. So, okay. And I am going to let this fly out after this live chat. I have to crack a window for the heater in here because it's a propane heater. And the fly was like, yes, I'm in the room. Let's be friends. Okay, so I'm gonna put my tea there. I'm gonna light my candle here. Let's put this down. Lady Knight says, in Germany, we have Three Kings Day, as in the wise men from Jesus tomorrow. Oh, wow. Well, what an interesting balance. So Triple Goddess Day and the Three Kings Day, so masculine and feminine. Dude, that is so cool. I like that. Okay, so here we go. We are down here. Hold on, let me just make sure we're somewhat even. Okay. All right. I think you guys can see what's going on. All right. We're going to light our candle to kind of set our intention that these earrings will be for tapping into the triple goddess aspect of myself. Sorry, when the lighters get cold, they don't want to work. Come on, baby. Don't make me get another lighter. I will. Boo. You suck nards. Okay. Hold on. Let me get another lighter. Maybe this lighter is just dead skis. Okay. Let me check these lighters first. Oh, come on. You guys are being lame. I swear, does anybody else have this issue that when it's cold, your lighters don't want to work? Okay, I'm going to have to go for an electric lighter. This is ridiculous. Okay. That's okay. That's why we have electric lighters as well. It's when the other lighters decide to take a little dump ski. Electric lights. We have fire. I was like, am I going to have to go get a flint rock and start a fire here? Oh my gosh. Who knew that when it gets cold, it's so hard to light a fire? Silver Star says, that's interesting. Lady Knight says, love the sparkle tablecloth. Well, thank you. I was getting it all ready for winter / New Year's. Okay, so we have our little candle going. I'm going to just put that off to the side, actually. Okie dokie. What to do first? Okay, well, first and foremost, I'm going to need these guys. And I just need 2 of them, really. Or I could do more, technically, if I wanted to. Okay, so these, let me show you what these are. These are little bendy wires. And on the end, you'll see they have a little head to them. That comes in handy when, let me just grab a bead here. When you're threading your bead through, it stops it at the end. So that way I can make a little loop, I can bend it around, make a little loop so that I can make an individual earring. Silver Star's like, just stick it in your bra. It will warm up. That's what I do. Well, I don't know. Those lighters are kind of big to be sticking in my bra. I got little mosquito bites, you know. Okay, so hmm, let me see. I'm trying to think what I want to do with this. And I had a flash of an idea, but it might require, hmm, let's see. Let me look at my wire here, actually. Okay, yeah, I have a little bit of wire here. Oh, hey, Angela's here. Says hello, everyone, and Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you as well. We're just gonna make some earrings here. I was thinking, what if I did hoop earrings? Okay, hold on. I might need a crimper if I do hoop earrings. But it can be done. Holy shit, that's what we're gonna do. Holy shit. Okay, I just had like a poof of inspiration. Okay, hear me out. Okay, so this is what I want to do. I want to create a hoop. So I want to use like first a fish hook earring, just like this. So I want to do a fish hook, but I want a big hoop on it. So I might end up using some of my sterling silver wire that I normally use for my necklaces. And it's a nice strong gauge. So, I mean, we're not going to have that. We don't want heavy earrings. You know, I don't really want to touch my earlobes. But yeah, so I want to do a little hoop here. And then with these, I'm going to use these to just create hoops or like loops, I should say, on some individual beads. So I'm going to pick out 3 beads. So a bead for the maiden, a bead for the mother, and a bead for the crone. So wow, big inspo here. Okay. See what happens when I hang out with you guys? It's like inspiration. So I'm going to need 3 apiece because we're going to have 3 beads per earring. So I'm going to need 3 of these. Okay, and then a couple more for the other 2 earrings or other 2 beads. Okay, so I'm going to put those in there. Okay, now let's pick out some beads. I definitely want to use my pearls because, yeah, and I consider pearls to be rather maiden-like. I don't know, just very, to me, youthful energy. Reminds me of, obviously they come from the ocean, but I used to surf a lot, and so it reminds me of my youth back when I was surfing all the time and, you know, playing in the water. And, you know, now I'm up here in the mountains in kind of what was once a dried up ocean. And still finding seashells up here, actually fossilized seashells, which is pretty cool. So I would like to, you know, as I connect to pearl, which to me is connect to very youthful energy, we're going to use this for maiden. All right, so we're going to do for one for each earring. So we'll need 2. All right, we have 2 pearls. Okay, now let's find something that feels like mother energy. No, I don't really, not really feeling the moonstone. Oh, I think I have an idea. Okay, so looking in here, okay, so I have some jade. Ooh, I also have some painted beads as well. Those are fun. Silver Star says they're connected to moon. That's so perfect. Yes, I love that. Okay. Oh, ooh, do I have another one of these? Please say I have another one of these beads. Please don't let it be a single bead. That would suck. Nards. I only have one left. But this is my rhodochrosite bead. That would have been really good for mother. But you know what? Perhaps 'tis not meant to be. Ooh, okay. I just thought of something else. Where's my... Here we go. And do I have any more of the... Man, I've been making so much jewelry that I'm running out of beads here. Maybe it's time to go to Tucson and buy some more beads. The Tucson Gem Show is coming up this year. I would like to use rose quartz for mother. Okay, so what do you think about that? Rose quartz for the mother. You know, I know sometimes people like connect rose quartz to the maiden, but maybe it's because my own mother loved rose quartz and it helped bring her a sense of peace when things were, you know, kind of nutty. And although, yes, you know, my mom was a difficult woman, but you know, she was just a woman with her own shadows and things like that. And if rose quartz is what brought her peace, and rose quartz is what I would see a lot of my students that I used to teach, their mothers actually used to wear a lot of rose quartz just for like bringing themselves back to center and bring themselves back to their heart space. Angela said, oh, hey, Angela's here. Hello. This is Blessings and hello, everyone. Wishing you all the biggest hugs today. Blessings, love, and light be yours. May you have a happy day. Amen. Silver Star said, Mother of Pearl would be cool, but we already have Pearl. Yes, I would love Mother of Pearl. But yeah, we have rose quartz. My only runner-up, I would say, for mother is, hold on, let me try to find it. Okay, do I have a second one of these beads? I do. Okay, actually, you know what? This might be even better because I didn't know if I had, whoa. I didn't know if I had two of these. But I have some cloisonry beads. So these are actually really tiny cloisonry beads, and they actually broke off of a bracelet that a girl who used to be my best friend in high school, she had bought me. So these actually, you know what? Those are probably going to be really good for mother. I love that. It's intricate, it's detailed, it's artistic. There's a lot of time that has to go into each of these beads. So yes, okay, this is mother. I'm feeling this. This is mom. Hey, Patrick is here. What up, dude? Okay, we have that. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. All right, you guys, let's get into the crone. Let's get crony with it. Okay, I have some ideas for crone. You guys let me know what you think about it. Okay, I'm just gonna pull them out just so you know what I'm talking about here. Okay, where is that other bead? There it is. Actually, we'll just have those two. And that one. And then, okay. Actually, yeah, just these, between these two. Okay, this is what I have for crone. Let me know. I have labradorite for crone, or, whoops, or I have eagle's eye, which is like a smoky version of tiger's eye. And it's also a feldspar, so it does have the flash in the sun. And actually, I made eagle eye earrings for my friend Tamika for Christmas. So yeah, so let's see. I think eagle's eye is going to be the way to go. Go away, fly. Seriously, nobody invited you. um, let's see. Angela said she took her broken heart and smoothed the rough edges and made the rose quartz and scattered it so her heart could help others heal and show beauty in falling apart to fall into place. Oh, that's beautiful. And then she says, blessings, magic universe. Okay, people are really liking the eagle's eye. Angela said, ooh, eagle's eye for sure. Nothing gets past the crone. Yeah, okay. We have it. Check that out. Okay, so I'm going to put this off to the side because that's just extraneous. Okay. Let me move my other beads out of the way so we don't get all confusy here. Okay. Okay, and then we'll pack up these beads. That way we have just what we're working with, you know. Yeah, Angela, for sure. I definitely like that. Nothing gets past the eye of the crone. That's perfect. There we go. Off to the side you go. Okay, so here we go. These beads are going to make up each individual earring. So we have Maiden, which is freshwater pearl. I believe it's freshwater pearl from Arkansas. We have Mother, which is a cloisonry bead. And then we have Crone, which is eagle's eye bead. That is going to be so freaking awesome. Okay, so I'm going to bring this here. I'm going to put my beads in here so they don't roll all over the place. Like I said, this is the lids are really good for keeping things from getting cray-cray. Okay, so I'm going to use these two plier tools. One's round nosed, and the other's just needle nose pliers. And we are going to make our beady beads. Okay. Yes, that is what we're going to do. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is put this little bendy wire thing and put it through my, come on, go through here. Maybe I need a different, okay, there we go. All right, so the little wire, again, has a little butt at the top so it can keep my bead in place. And what I'm going to do is just create a little loop. So that way it's its own individual looped bead. And I'm going to create 3 loops, actually. And then we're going to hang them on a bigger loop, and you'll see that in just a moment. Angela said there's a bit more above it, but I'm glad you like it's a story. A crystal shop owner told me as a kid. I used to chat with anyone I met selling crystal and ask them what story they had about the stones, and they told me some really heartfelt ones. It may have been just so I'd come back and buy rocks, but I do feel it was. I feel they wanted to share their crystal gnosis. Well, that's beautiful. I love that. So nice. Okay, I'm just gonna do a very simple loop. So I'm just gonna bend this off to the side, like so. Burp. See that? Burp. I just bent it. And then we re-grab it like this, and I'm gonna fold the wire over the top, like so. See, we are like this now. And then I'm going to grab it up top like this. I'm going to fold this part underneath my needle nose. Oops, maybe I'll make it a little bit bigger actually. Okay, it looks something like that, but I'm going to obviously fix this. So it's a little more purdy. Actually, you know what? I want to do a different type of loop. Never mind. I was gonna do this other loop, but it's too fancy. So never mind. Let's start over. That's why I have a lot of these things. Never mind. The loop I was going to do is one that I usually do, but I think is gonna kind of not great on the earrings that I'm gonna make. So I'm gonna take this off. Hold on. Let's chop this wire. Make a little trash pile. All right, let's take this out of this bead. And that's what I love about jewelry is that there are no really any mistakes. Everything is always correctable. You can always just start over, just like life. Out you go. There we go. All right, let's start this again. Patrick said, "This is fun." Angela says, "I agree. So beautiful and fun." Also, everyone, your vibes are beautiful today. You are glowing. Yeah, you guys are. This is a lot of fun. Okay. We're just going to go real simple here. So we're going to bend this off to the side like so. Just like that. And then I'm going to take my thingies here. Actually, you know what? We're going to take these thingies. And I'm just going to roll it over. And that is what we need. Wow. It's like when I'm on camera, I can't, they don't look so pretty. It's like pressure, pressure. But that's okay. All right. That looks good to me, actually. I'm going to cut. So see, it's just a little loop. That's all I need. I just need a little loop. So I cut off the excess here. And I'm just going to wrap it around. You'll see what I'm about to do in just a moment. Okay, let's hold that in place. Okay. Looks good, looks good. I'd even squash that down just a little bit. There we go. Okay, there's a little sticky outy there. Just gonna clip that off. Okay. All right, ta-da! We have a little bead. A little bead with a loop. All right, so we're just gonna do that 5 more times. Oh, Superstar says, "Stormy." Angela says, "Pops the pressure bubbles, though there is no pressure." Boop. Angela said, "Looking good so far." Okie dokie. All right, so like I said, I'm gonna do this with all of the beads now. Push that off to the side. Okay, see, this one came out a lot better, like a lot. Let's see. Silver Star says craving is so relaxing, or creating is so relaxing. Patrick said, yes, it is. Angela said, sending you all big, loving soul hugs. I missed you guys. Where's Susie today? I hope she is well. Actually, she's doing pretty good. She's just taking some time off of social media at the moment, but she will be back in time. Silver Star says, yes, Susie's just taking a break, stepping away for a bit. Patrick says, I can feel all of your energy and it's amazing in a good way. Yeah, same. Like I said, yeah, you guys are amazeballs. I can't think of any better way to spend my Sunday than with y'all. And Silver Star says, sending a warm hug to you, Angela. Angela said, I miss her, but I hope she's on a good break. I sent her a big loving soul hug. All right, so now I'm just making another little loop for my mother bead. Okay. That around. Okay, and then we're gonna snippity snip snip. Lexa. There we go. All right. And just as we are soul fam, definitely. So there's just a little thing for the mom bead. All right. So technically, we have 3 little looped guys. I mean, the loops could be better, but you know, who's looking at my ears like that closely? So who gives a shiza? Anyway, so those 3 are looped. That's going to go on one earring. Okay. And so now I'm going to do that with the other 3 here. So I got my maiden mother crone. Again, we're going to start with the maiden. Looks like my candle's still going burning bright over here, so that's good. All right, so we're going to start again with our freshwater pearl. And I'm going to put I think the rounded pliers worked best. There we go. Rounded-ish. Okay, I'm going to bend that straight. Hold this into place. Just like that. Wrap this end around. Like that. Okay, so it's kind of wrapped around like you can see, and I'm just going to cut off the excess. Whoa. Perhaps I should wear glasses when doing this. I don't need to lose an eye today. Not today, Satan. That's actually my friend Tamika's favorite saying is not today, Satan. All right, there we go. Got a nice little maiden bead there. Beep, beep. Okay, now we go on to the mother. Last 2 beads. Yay. And then we could start stringing her up. Angela says, the eagle's eye reminds me of what a crystal shop owner told me about moonstone and labradorite, but could apply to eagle's eye. She told me they are said to be divine eyes, lost in battles. Ooh. Silver Star says, chills when I read that. Definitely. Okay, so I've done my little... Then I'm just going to take my little round nose, round it around, like so. Okay. I'm going to hold this into place. And we're going to wrap it around. Okay. I'm going to snip this excess off. Are you trying to be on camera, Fly? Are you some sort of... Are you like a movie star, Fly? Like... Okay, and then I don't like pokies hanging about, so I'm going to try to squeeze this pokey in. Maybe a little bit more snippy. I don't know if I can quite get in there. It might be as snipped as it can be. All right, that's fine. And by the way, while I'm making these, I'm also just setting my magical intention. Like I'm trying to actually infuse the energies of Maiden, Mother, and Crone. There we go. All right, we got our mother bead. The mothership has landed. All right, last bead. Okay. Let's see. Patrick's like, not today. Silver Star says, could do an item in your shop, triple goddess earrings. Ooh, for sure. Angela's like, not today, negativity, not today. Patrick's like, the fly, part 4.1. I know, right? It's like the fly returns, return of the fly, rise of the fly, battle of the fly. Angela says, maybe use sandpaper to smooth the pokey. Oh, I got it wrapped around. It's all right. Stormy Fever's just cracking up over there. Silver Star says, even can do custom triple moon goddess earrings. Definitely. I definitely think I want to add more jewelry into the shop. I have some buffalo teeth lying around, you know, because I'm a witch. So I happen to have buffalo teeth laying around. And I wanted to make buffalo teeth earrings. What do you guys think about that? I was also thinking of making like little pendants so people could wear them. But for me, buffalo teeth are connected just kind of like with cow and Hathor energy, like from Egyptian mythology. It's very connected to the earth, very Mama Gaia, very mother type energy. So I was thinking of doing that. Actually, need to find more bones. Like who? I mean, who on earth says these things? I need more bones in my life. I do. I've even thought about it on my epitaph. I want take a bone, leave a bone. Because what am I going to need my bones for once I'm dead? You know, if you want to play with my bones, go right on ahead. I will not stop you. All right. Last bead. All right. Booyah. Okay, so now we have all the little hooped beads. Silverstar says, that's a cool idea. Angela says, I can see a buffalo tooth I've never seen before. Oh, can I see a buffalo tooth? Oh, that's actually out in the cabin. But maybe in the next live chat, I will bring them out for you guys. Angela's like, the bones will find you. Oh, and they do for sure. Witches say those things. Yes. Patrick says, sounds like good energy. And Silver Star said, then they will have some funny bones. Yeah, definitely. Oh, hold on. Let me return on my heater. I'll be right back. I think it went out for whatever strange reason. There we go, heater. Was it the fly? Did the fly get you? There we go. I was like, why is it getting cold in here? The heater had turned itself off. I bet you it was the fly. The fly's like, it's too hot in here. Let's turn the heater off. Well, that's kind of cool. I have jump rings. Hold on. Idea incoming. Could I use any of these? Oh, holy Shizakoff. Oh, dude, why are they? Check out these. These are kind of crimped. These are actually originally, I use them for my bags that I used to make. That might be kind of cool. What do you think? Okay, let me give you an example so you know what we're working with here. Okay, what if I hung them off a loop like this, and then, whoa, holy shit. And then I hung them like this? That would be actually pretty cool. My only, I bet I put, because this is not, they're kind of cut here. So maybe if I put a crimp bead there to keep it from like actually coming apart. Dude, hey, I knew I was going to use these for something someday. Sometimes I just like buy things and I'm like, I'm going to use that for a project someday. But originally I used to make purses, back in the early 2000s. I used to sew these purses and then I would sew like beading onto them. Like I would get retro fabric. Like my favorite thing to do would be to go to thrift stores, find really cool fabric on some like old dresses and stuff. So like even if the dresses, were kind of horrendous looking, or didn't fit me, the bigger the dress, the better, because then I have more fabric to use. But yeah, I would make these purses. And so I always needed all these like jump rings for purses and stuff like that. And just as maybe the fly has a story it wants to tell us. Patrick's like, flaw, the fly. Oh, I'm sure it has a story. Patrick says, damn, those are cool. Angela says, just looked up files. Are we connected to military prowess and ancient? Looked up flies. They're connected to military prowess in ancient Egypt, an ancient Babylonian god named Nergal, a death deity of longevity and the life cycle. Huh. So Angela says, maybe the fly is here for a blessing. Well, that's cool then. All right. Well, cool beans. Silver Star says, that's what I was seeing in my head with the earrings. So perfect. Know what you mean. I have bits and bobs to know I'll eventually use. Okay. Okay. This is fantastic. All right. So I want to find one of my crimp beads. So that way I can crimp that hole closed. Dude, I am so freaking psyched right now. Okay, so let's pull out a couple of crimp beads. Okay. Okay. We're doing it, you guys. We're doing it. Whoops, dropped the crimp bead. My bad. I was thinking about what my friends used to say in high school. My bad, your dad. Okay. Spacers. Huh. I may or may not use the spacers, but I will keep them out just in case. Okay, so let's try attempt number 1 and see how we do. Oh, wait. I'm going to go in reverse order. So we're going to go crone first. So mother can be in the middle. Yeah. So they're kind of like that. What do you guys think? That'll be kind of cool. And then I don't know. We don't have to add these. I just want to see what they look like. But let me see. I was thinking of just like putting spacers on. Actually, I don't know if this will fit in these hoops. No, they're not going to fit. All right. Well, they probably weren't going to look that great anyway. But I'll leave them out, actually, because I might need them for the fish hooks. Okay. Anyway, so it's going to look something like that. I still have to put the hooks on. I'm going to have to crimp this together so that it doesn't come apart. So let's do that. Let's crimp, baby. No. Okay, I have to crimp it right where it comes together, because that's where we're going to create closure in our lives. Okay, so I put a little crimp bead right where this hoop kind of comes apart, so I could close the hoop. All right, and then now, you know what? Let's use my bougie hoop earrings. These are my sterling silvers, because sterling silver. All right, so I want to, do I have any gold? Gold would be preferable. Whatever, who cares? Mix gold and silver, I don't care. I figure maybe I'll use these ones just because, you know, I don't want to lose these off my ears. Okay, so I'm going to need a little jump ring, just like this. I don't know if you guys can see. Yay! Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm excited. You'll see how the very first earring is going to look. Okay, so I'm going to move this jump ring right there. And we're going to put it down like that. And then maybe I want to put a little bead skis like this. And I don't know why. No, maybe that'll be lame. No, okay. I'm not going to do that then. I'm just going to put this in here. Okay, let's close the loop. Yeah, that's way better. Okay, maybe if I put another crimp. Nah. No, I think it's good the way it is. And then that way I can rotate down like this. And there we go. We have the first earring. So this way it's a full closure hoop, so that way it stays on your ear and you're not going to have your earrings fall off or lose them like that. And then they have a nice gold loop because I have been feeling gold lately. Like gold has such a vibe. Um, I don't like how these are turning though. Hold on. We're gonna add we're gonna add one more thing. Hold on. One more jump ring. Okay, give me just a second. They're not quite finished yet, you guys. I want them to face the front. I don't want them to face sideways. You know, if you're gonna do the earrings, do them the way you want them. Okay. More jump ring. Like that. We're gonna close her up. Like that. Okay. And then we're gonna open this one up. So that way they really dangle. You know what I'm saying? It's like I so badly want to put this in there, but that just doesn't fit. Oh well. That's better. Okay, they face the front now. Yay! All right, so now they face the front. So that way they're gonna like face that way. So it has like, what I like about these is the little design on here kind of looks like a little clamshell. So it reminds me of like water. Again, gold. Gold, I think, has a really nice frequency to it. It's very transmutive. Helps really like with flow. So we have our maiden, which is our freshwater pearl. We have our mother, which is our cloison bead. And then we have our eagle's eye for our crone. So yay. And then that'll be my earring. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's so good. Okay. So let's put that one down and then let's make our second one. Yay. Let's go back here. Silver Star says, that's what I was seeing in my head with the earrings. So perfect. And she says, it's cool. She says, do you have a soldering pen? I don't actually. So, but the crimp bead worked. That was okay. Angela says, it is in the witch's nature to have bits and bobs and not know why until it's time to know why. Exactly. I have bones everywhere. I have like pieces of nature. I have like little like jewelry making things. Patrick says, yep, Angela, that's how it always goes. So funny. Stormy Fever says, they're pretty. Thank you. Thank you. And Silver Star says, okay, I see. That's a great idea. Patrick loves them. Angela says, it's too funny. And gosh, these earrings are gorgeous. Silver Star says, so fun watching it all come together. Lady Knight said, pretty. Angela says, OMG, its vibes are absolutely buzzing. I know. I can't wait to wear them. And of course, you know, with anything you're going to stick through your ear hole, always make sure that you clean it with a bit of alcohol, which is what I'm going to do. And Silver Star says, it's connected to the sun and masculine Leo energy, supporting the feminine. That's what I love. And it's circular. So like wonderful wheel of the year vibes. Okay, so where's my hole on this one? Okay. All right. So we're going in reverse order. Crone. Come on, Crone. Get in there. Don't be Crony. Crony baloney. Okay, I'm gonna stick this on the hoop, and then maiden goes on the hoop. All right, so we got everybody just chilling on there. We're gonna do like we did before. We're gonna put our little crimp bead, and we're gonna crimp it right on. Oh, no. That one got messed up. That wasn't quite on the area. Okay, fly. Gosh, we get it. We get it. Okay, gotta take the crimp bead off. And start again with a new crimp bead. That's okay. That's what jewelry is about. Patience. Okay, we're gonna try this again. All right. All right, so there we go. The crimp bead went right on where the hoop disconnects from itself, just like we wanted. We're going to get out another one of our little cool little earring hooks. I can put those away now, so that's cool. Before I forget and lose these little spacers, I'm going to put these back in their little pack. Okay. And then I'm going to grab 2 jump rings, 2 sterling silver jump rings. Okay. And that goes in there. That goes in there. I'm going to close 1 jump ring, like so. And I'm going to open the second jump ring, and we're going to attach it to the actual earring. Okay, I got to open the jump ring a little bit more. That's no problem. There we go. Let's close her up. All right. There we go, you guys. We created our triple goddess earrings. Oh my gosh, these are so pretty. It's almost like I'm amazed with myself. I'm like, wow, this is so pretty. I would totally wear these, and I will. So yay! Thanks for making them with me. And I'm glad we got to make them together. We got to kind of pick these beads out together. Yeah, and I think it does have a beautiful mix of that masculine and feminine energy. Kind of like what Lady Night was saying, like tomorrow is 3 Kings Day, but it's also Triple Goddess Day. Yeah, oh my gosh, those came out way cool. I'm like smitten with myself. Hold on, let me put my little dealy bob back on top. Get back in your hole. Don't you want to go to your hole? It is your home. Okay. Sorry, I was just putting the lid back on. Okay. There's a candle here. Let's not light myself on fire. Not today. Not today. Okay, let's put our little jump rings away. And we'll have to do a little closing ceremony for these earrings. So we bring our candle back. Let's go back here. Patrick said, love them. Angela says, it's funny too. Gosh, these earrings are gorgeous. Remember saying it's fun to watch them come together. Angela said, they're so perfect. Silver Star, loving them. Angela says, they match your shirt. Ooh, they do. Patrick says, ooh, wow. Silver Star says, they do match. It's a vibe. Totally. Angela says, we love the fire energy, but not when it's biting us. Yeah. Not when I'm actually on fire. Okay, so I am going to light my incense. So we're going to bring my cool dragon over here. And we are going to light this incense. And we are going to dedicate these earrings to the maiden, the mother, and the crone with my wonderful Goodwill incense. Ooh, I still have tea. Okay. Oops. Hold on. I'm going to take my ear cuffs off real quick because I want to try on these earrings. So give me just a moment. Okay. Let's take this out. Pour this in. All right. All right, then we have our lovely earrings. Let's see if I could zoom in. Ooh, I can. Check it out. I got zoomy with it. Okay, now you guys can see the earrings really well. That's cool. Okay, so I just kind of want to take each earring, pass it back and forth over the flame, purifying them, but also dedicating them to the maiden, the mother, and the crone. Triple goddess energy mixed in with divine masculine energy, symbolized by the gold, and everything being interconnected, hence the circle and the hoop. That's why I was feeling those vibes, and the roundedness of the beads as well. All right, again, passing the second one through the flame. Oh, you guys can't see the flame. There we go. Passing it through the flame. And again, just cleansing and purifying them, dedicating them to the maiden, the mother, and the crone. And the connection between divine feminine and divine masculine, interconnected by this golden circle. Okay, move my flame back there. Let's zoom out again. And I guess I'll just put this into my dragon and check out the dragon as he huffs and he puffs. I love the smoking dragon. It's like one of my favorite things. Angela says, we love fire energy. Yeah, but not when it's biting. Lady Knight said, gorgeous. Silver Sister says, they are perfect. All right, so our dragon is gonna smoke a little here. I'm gonna put him off to the side because otherwise I'm gonna get high on incense. We can get high on other things, you know. All right, so let's come back up here. Let's actually try out these earrings. So I have taken off my awesome ear cuffs, courtesy of Silver Star Priestess. Let's try these out. I will alcohol them later, I promise. First, let me find my ear hole. It's harder on this ear because I have a second ear hole on this ear. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, hold on. Check it out. Those are so fun. Oh my gosh. Yay. Oh my goodness. This was fun. Oh my goodness, you guys. Silverstar says, OMG, what a dragon. And Lady Knight says, that looks so cool. Well, thank you. Stormy Fever said, perfect. Yeah, these are, wow, that was a lot of fun. I love making these with you guys. Jam asked if I was Amish. No, but we do have Amish in the area. So very cool. Okay, so let's have a little bit more tea. And now that check it out, the dragon is just, I love this guy. Just huff, puff, puffing away. That is so cool. If you guys are ready to do some super chat, super stickers, so we could pull some cards, we could do that next. And then afterwards, we'll do our channel guided meditation. And then we are out skis. That is so cool though. I liked making these earrings. I was like, I hope I don't like mess up these earrings. And I was like thinking maybe I'll pre-plan some earrings. And I was like, you know what? It's all about living in flow. If we're going to be doing something in the divine feminine, the feminine is all about flow and creativity. And it's the masculine that helps bring it into the 3D. So I think that that's like a nice balance that we had. We just allowed the muse to kind of flow through us. But, you know, it was our buzz off, dude. It was our masculine energy that helped to kind of bring it all together. Silver Star said, so cute. And Lady Knight says, they go with your rings as well. Oh, yeah, that's right. I got my moonstone rings. Yee! All right. Let me get another deck out here in case we want to do super chats or super stickers. Ooh, maybe I'll use my Universal Folk Tarot. Seriously, wow, you're a big fly. Are you like a horsefly? I think you are like a horsefly. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. And boom, boom, boom. Okay, we have our deck. All right, so Universal Folk Tarot is here. Ha, 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 ha. Has beautiful images by a Scottish artist, actually. So yeah, if we're ready to do some readings before we do our guided meditation, I'd be more than happy to do so. And then, yeah, we'll get our meditation on. I'm like feeling so fun with these earrings. You can hear the beads like clanking, like ding, 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 ding. Yay, I'm happy with these. So I have some other jump rings. Maybe I can make a pair of these for the shop. So we could definitely do that. I definitely like want to do the buffalo teeth earrings. I think that's going to be cool. Maybe some pendants. Actually learn how to wire wrap. That'll be great. I'm so excited. Oh, Patrick, thank you, thank you. So Patrick, do you have a particular question? Do you just want some general guidance from your higher self? Is there an area you want me to look into? Let's do it, homie. Hold on, and put my chapstick back on. I love the little like GIF that's on the the super chat. All right. Ooh, it's getting warm in here. Maybe I should not have turned the heater up to level 2. There are 5 or 6 levels to this heater. Level 1, you're pretty warm. Level 2, you're burning up. So like whoever has it on level 3, 4, 5, and 6, like level 6, I'm pretty sure you just want to live in Dante's Inferno because Dante's Inferno. Yeah, I don't know who puts it on 6. It's like turning the radio up to 11, you know? Okay, Silver Star says, I have to step away for a moment. I'll be back. All right, no worries. So yeah, Patrick, just let me know if there's an area we're looking into, or if, you have a particular question, or maybe we're just checking in with your higher self. And while you are thinking of something, I will shuffle these. I think I want to start a new candle actually right now. Okay, well, we'll let that candle just simmer down now. All right, Patrick says, cool. I love to know where I am with my ego number again. Last time I was between 15 and 12% left of ego. Okay, so let's do a little tap in real quick. Yes, Fly, we hear you. All right, Patrick, it is at 15.1. But as James and I realized, with like, once you get down to like 15, 15.2, 15.1, 15 even, that's like the huge, like, it seems like that's where a lot of people, it's a little difficult past that one. But only because it's like where some of like the biggest like ego stuff comes up, because that's where the ego really tries to cling on. Remember, it's not evil or anything. Our ego isn't a bad thing. It's just the program. And so the program is like fighting for its life at 15 and under. Like it really, it doesn't want to fail. It's programmed. So it's like, gotta cling. But you know, the soul, that's like the major decision. Like, are we going forward with this? You know, do I want to ascend now, which technically means leaving the matrix, like soon, or do I not ascend now? And leaving the matrix could just mean that you're like nothing, you're not connected to the matrix anymore, but maybe you're still here on earth. For some people, they decide they don't want to be here on earth anymore, and they don't want to be a part of the matrix, which I don't believe means that you die technically. For some people, yes, death is a part of ascension. For other people, ascension is kind of like what we heard from Sarah, who was an Atul or Anasazi woman who ascended with a bunch of other folks about 2,000 years ago, that it's just kind of like they disappeared, like the whole body, everything just kind of like phased out. And we've heard about this in other religions, about spiritual figures just kind of like poof, disappearing. And I believe it's because they had ascended. So yeah, I believe that 15, you're at the things are getting a little weird at 15. That's where like you start having more control over your environment, and like things that might be considered impossible in the matrix, like according to physics, this is impossible. But you know what? Physics is part of the matrix. So a lot of those laws do not apply out in the universe. This particular universe, as there's other universes as well. And I'm not just talking about this galaxy, I'm talking about the universe that has like all these dimensions, you know, within it. But Patrick says, yep, it's hard as hell. It talks 24/7. That's because It doesn't want to let go. It doesn't want to fail. And like I said, your ego is not like something to fight, really, because it's not a bad thing. And as you know, as I like to watch your videos that you put out on Instagram, that it's just showing us where to heal, but also where we actually have like control. Like, it's like, oh, okay, so you're saying that gravity exists, ego. It's like, but if time doesn't exist and all dimensions are here all at once, I am multidimensional, and not everything that applies here in this particular third dimension applies in any other dimension, and I'm connected to those other dimensions, and gravity doesn't exist in those other dimensions because neither does physical form, then that means gravity doesn't actually exist. It is it's just a program. So who knows, Patrick, you might start like levitating at some point, just like, which would be great. Patrick says the ego is saying now to me, I am leaving, I'm done with you, so I am on the way. Hey, I mean, if that's what your ego is saying, like, peace out, homie, that's cool. So like I said, you may have noticed that things are just getting maybe a little more weird than usual around you. Like James and I had noticed, like we were messing with the radio stations, and I noticed this when I went to my friend Tony and Tamika's for New Year's, as they have what's that thing? It's kind of like Alexis, kind of like it, but it's Google, and they say, Google, play this song, or Google, whatever. I don't know. I was like, whoa, you guys are really technological. I'm not that technologically advanced. But anyway, they said to play a song. Google was playing a song. I was talking or something, and I kind of had glanced over at the radio, and I was like thinking, like I was trying to continue my point, but I was having a hard time focusing because the music was playing, and at that moment, the music shut off, and they were like, whoa, wait, why'd the music stop? And then they turned it back on. And I was like, things are getting weird. Okay, so Patrick, here we go. Ooh, 8 of Pentacles, Jackalope Garden. Okay, so now let's really diving in, because you're at that 15.1%, which is, that's a big one. Our, friends that we connect to, like Anna and Sarah and all of them, they were just saying that 15 was a big one. They found that to be like the most difficult, but okay, so your higher self says okay, I know that there's an infinite number of timelines, but to simplify things, there's a couple of paths that you could take on where you would be 1 year from today. So this would be like at the start of 2026. So your higher self is saying you could continue, like, quote unquote, battling the ego, feeling like, man, this is so hard. This is like, it's a battle every day. Sometimes it's like, whew, almost exhausting, and things like that. Like that's one way. And then you would definitely be war torn by January of 2026, 1 year from today. And you would still be feeling it. You would probably be down to about 10%, which at 10%, you're kind of here, you're kind of not anymore. You're like, you kind of phase in and out. You're kind of doing things that people would say is impossible in this matrix, like really impossible. That's like getting at the status of many of what we might consider our ascended masters, where it just seemed like they just miraculously heal things. They just make things appear. They just make things work. They just, it's like magic. It's like they become magicians. So, and you are magic universe. So that's pretty cool. So there's that path. The other path is being in the exact same place, about 10%, but feeling lighter, feeling as things have been a lot easier, feeling more in flow, either sleeping or not sleeping, but that being dependent on you and it not being more an effect on your health or anything like that. Um, and really, what it is just the perception of the journey itself. So your higher self says somewhere deep inside in your subconscious, you feel like this road should be hard, that it is difficult, like it's just difficult to release the ego, that it's just difficult, this journey of healing and all of that, that, at times we do feel worn down. But the higher self says that's also a program, that this has to be hard. And that's part of the ego program saying, to get rid of me, that's a hard thing to do because I'm like a really complicated program. But that's just what it believes. That's what it was programmed to believe. And yes, the ego is also part of us, it's also part of the human. But the other part says that if you had a different perception of, you know, I'm just taking things day by day. It's flowing. It's great. I'm enjoying this journey. This is all cool beans. You feel like rested. You feel have more vitality. So there's two aspects of you 1 year from today. One is a Patrick that feels very worn down. He's at 10 something percent, 10 point whatever percent. But he's just like, oh, like, whoa, the journey's so hard. The other one is a Patrick that is vitalized. He's refreshed. He's feeling really good. He's like, I'm at 10 point something percent. This is beautiful. It's wonderful. I feel like I have all the energy in the world. But it's all up to you and it's all up to your perception. So if you were going to work on, well, I know that you're always working on healing every day. But if you were going to work on something, majorly, maybe even this month or, possibly throughout the rest of this year, is just focusing on where did I get the belief that things worth having, like ascension or removal of the ego, has to be a hard journey. Why do I believe that things have to be hard for me? Anything that I want, anything worth having, anything that is beautiful and powerful, why does it have to be difficult? So just something to look into. And I'm not saying it's just you, like you have that belief. I think that's something that's in all of our egos to some degree, that if I want something, it's going to be hard to get, or I'm going to have to do the struggle bus to get it. But it's just a program all the same. And that's something that, as you've seen, we have the power to reprogram. So I hope that makes sense to you. Thank you for allowing me to check in. Okay, maybe I turn down the heater because now I'm like really hot. So whew, it's on like 2 and I'm like, anyway, so yeah, thank you. And then if anybody else would like me to pull a card, I'd be more than happy to do so. Hold on, I'm just going to move this little thing. And ooh, I wonder if my other lighters work now that it's warmer in here. And give me just a second. Do. Wow, that's so weird. They worked this morning. That is crazy. Okay, that lighter works. So weird. Maybe I just like don't buy cheap lighters. Maybe that's my problem. Okay. Whatever. I have a Bic lighter now. It's all good in the hood. I'm just trying to burn the bottom of my candle so I can get the wax all waxy. And then I stick it to my my little thing here. And that's how I get my candles to stand upright without a actual holder. See, ta-ta-da. So that way, see, I just burn it and then it like sticks. So that's cool. And now let's actually light this candle. Does anybody else struggle with Bic lighters? Wow. This candle does not want to light. What is the struggle with this candle? You have issues, candle. Do you know you have issues? Is it because you were bought at the Goodwill? Is that it? Oh my gosh. Let's see. Lady Knight says, can I use PayPal for a donation for a card? Sure, no worries. That would be great. Go right on ahead. The PayPal link is also down below in the description. It's the PayPal me. You just got to scroll down a little ways through my information. But yeah, it's down there. Yeah, we could do that for sure. Patrick, you're very, very welcome. Silver Stars, you need a pack of Bics. Lurking and driving. Yeah, I had a pack of Bics and now they've mostly been used. And these, I don't know what's going on right now, but like nothing wants to light. Maybe I should pull a card on that. And let me turn this heater off because I'm dying. I'm like literally, oh wow, the heater kind of just turned itself off. Okay. Well, I'm dying. So, okay. Whew. It got too hot, let me tell you. And I don't know if the fly went into the heater, so it could be another reason. Okay. Sorry, just closing up the window here. So no more flies and friends come inside. Okay. Well, no worries. We have more lighters. A plethora of lighters and nothing that wants to light. That's probably why they gave this candle away. It didn't want to light. Ah, we have fire. All right, I'm gonna move that off to the side. There we go. I have made fire. All right, Lady Knight said sent. Thank you, thank you. All right, so let me know what your question is, or maybe we can look into an area or general guidance, anything from the higher self, we can do it. And I'll give these a nice little shuffle as well. And some more tea. But really, the struggle is real with fire in here right now. I don't know why that is. But I think I will pull a card on it. Patrick says, get an old-fashioned gas lighter. Always works and easy to fill up again. Maybe I should do that. I have some gas. I have some old gas. You know, like in my Jeep, I always keep like a gas can in case I'm like, you know, out Jeeping or adventuring. So it's just like a little 2-gallon can. But there's like old gas in there because I haven't had to fill up, and I don't really want to put that gas in my gas tank now because it's like a few years old. But I could probably put it in a gas lighter. So Patrick, that is a good idea, and I'm going to search the interwebs for a gas lighter after this live chat because that would be great. All right. Lady Knight says, I am without work at the moment. I'm wondering if I should stay in media or go to tarot/spirituality. All right. We'll definitely take a look at that. Let me just... There we go. Okay, so let me just tap in real quick. Okay, so that's interesting. When I was just trying to tap into your energy of like, do we go like the spirituality route? Do we continue on in the media route? And it was saying something about blending the two, actually. If there was a way that you could blend the two to create something absolutely unique. So let's pull a card for a little bit more clarity though. But I was just seeing you like, it was weird. It was like you were at the edge of a cliff and you were looking down on a body of water, but like in the water were those two things. It was like the media that you've been doing, but then also kind of your own version of spirituality and somehow like mixing the two together. So, okay, let's have a little look. Ooh, that is too many cards. Okay, let's see what we have here. All right. Ooh, we have the Chariot. Well, I love that. Look at those kitty cats. I'm totally digging this Chariot card. But yeah, I think it's totally going with what I was seeing. It was mixing what you know and you've already been doing with what you also know, and you've kind of been doing on the side, which is your tarot and your astrology. Or sorry, your spirituality. Lady Knight says, I'm working on something, got 2 book projects started and think about creating a course. And I guess YouTube would be a blending of it. Let's go inside. Um, it goes with actually what we were talking about, you know, like our masculine and our feminine, just like the earrings that we created, just like tomorrow. You said tomorrow's 3 Kings Day, but it's also the triple goddess day. So actually today and tomorrow would be a great day to really meditate on this. But instead of seeing everything as like their own island, you know, where yes, you have your book projects that you're working on, you have a course that you're thinking about, but then there's like, you know, also, you know, you know, your spirituality stuff. And it says that normally you tend to compartmentalize things like this is its own standalone thing. Like there's work, there's my personal life, there's relationship stuff, there's stuff I do with my friends, there's my spiritual practice, there's ideas I have. And it says that you have all of these wonderful things in your life, that this is the year of blend. So although in the Chariot card, sometimes we see things as like going separate directions, but I see this as like things that were going separate now coming all together. So like a blending, a meshing, probably why I was seeing you standing kind of in this, overlooking this body of water, is that now's the time to see like, how can I take my relationship, my friends, my spirituality, the ideas that I have in my head and really get them to start overlapping into something that you truly enjoy. And it says, so one thing to try and avoid I know as much as possible, is like planning things out so to the point where you say, okay, if I start something, it's going to look like this in a year or in 6 months, or it's going to look like this in 5 years. Like always wanting to have like a very clear cut plan before you start anything. And that's a wise thing to do. Yes, that's a very, it's a divine masculine thing to do, that want to have the plan. But this year is about having a plan, but also figuring out how to integrate flow, which would be your feminine aspect, into that plan. So I have an idea, but I'm going to allow other things that may not even seem related to that idea. I'm going to allow them to kind of filter in and kind of see what happens and go from there. So that you really start creating like things you never even dreamed of, especially by the end of this year. So I see this as a whole lot of a chance and opportunity to blend a lot of those ideas. So I would say just, you probably already started, but continue just going with it. And, let's say, husband comes up with something and you're like, okay, so you allow a little bit of him to kind of flow into there. You allow some of your friends to flow into there. You've had a dream about something. Now it's flowing in, the things that you've created, but it's also kind of mixed in with your spirituality, so that what it is that you are creating is something entirely unique to you and your soul. Because right now, all of us are getting into, we've all been going through these big changes. And the reason there's this like let go of stuff, but we're also bringing this stuff in, is we're creating, or I would say coming back to our very unique energy signatures. Because these very unique energy signatures are surrounded in our very physical, like programming. But as that programming starts to break away, our uniqueness is starting to show. The more unique and authentic people we have on this planet, animals and plants also include everything, mineral, element, everything. As all of that facade, I should say, breaks away, that 3D breaks away, like we really do start creating some amazing things on this planet. That is actually what is raising the vibration of this planet. So yeah, I'm feeling some really, really beautiful things for you. So let it all just kind of come together and create something. And I know you're going to try to work it out. I know you're going to be like, well, how is that going to work? And like, and that looks weird. It's meant to look weird. Weird is different. Different is good. Different creates change. You have something very unique that other people don't have. I have something unique other people don't have. Everybody in this chat has something unique that nobody else has. And it's time to really let that out. So Lady Knight says, you are spot on. I do keep things separately. I am a safety kind of person. Thank you so much. My Gemini brain is always analyzing. Dude, me too. I'm a Gemini. My brain's like, but yeah, I've kind of learned to just be like, okay, that's cool, brain. But I'm just kind of flowing with this. So very, very cool. Thank you so much. All righty. Yeah, so do we have any more super chats, super stickers? And like I said, if not, we can go into a very fun meditation. And I am just like, I can't tell you how much I love my earrings right now. I'm like so happy with them. I'm like, oh my gosh, we created something so cool during this chat. Now I'm just like burning other stuff. Maybe we should have done a pyrography or something lesson today. Okay. Let's see. Lady Knight says they look very glam on you. Well, thank you. I'll have to show them on the Instagrams later. Well, alrighty. Maybe I want to bring here. Let me move off to the side. We can get ready for our guided meditation. And I thought maybe it would be kind of cool if you want to stare at this dragon. So let me move my chair over. And let's stare at this dragon instead of me. Okay. Dragon, I need you. We'll turn him this way. We're going to zoom in just a little. Whoa, that's like way too much. There we go. Hey, there we go. Let's just take a card and put it on top and see what we have. Ooh, we have the Ace of Pentacles. The Investor. Interesting. All right, so let's go ahead and get ready for our channeled guided meditation. Like I said, I'll be off to the side so you guys don't have to look at my mug. I will have a seat though. Okay. For this guided meditation, go ahead and find a nice, comfortable space. A place where you will be undisturbed for the next several minutes. You could be laying down on your bed. You could be sitting in a chair. You could be laying underneath a tree or in a hammock. Any place that's comfortable for you. And once you have found that place, go ahead and bring your awareness to your breath. Feeling the rise and fall of your chest. Just noticing how the breath feels as it passes your lips. How it feels in the lungs. What feelings it's bringing up for you at this time. And with your exhales, how does it feel? Where do you feel them in your body? And if it helps, go ahead and place one hand over your heart and the other hand either on the floor or on the bed. Just one hand to ground ourselves and one hand to connect ourselves to our body, to our essence, to our energy, our emotions. Continue breathing. As you are in this relaxed state, breathing in and out, feeling total peace and relaxation, I want you to focus on the feminine aspect in your body, in your energy, in your emotions, in your mental state. I want you to visualize what that feminine aspect of you looks like. Does it embody more of the youthful maiden aspect at this time? Is it embodying more of the mother aspect? Or perhaps you're more in the crone energy. We're not placing any form of judgment. We're just observing this aspect of ourselves, how we view our feminine nature. Once you have visual, Just let it sit there for just a moment. This maiden or this mother or this crone, whatever it may look like. And now we visualize the masculine aspect within ourselves. Does this look more like the boy, the warrior, the elder? Just taking a moment to visualize how you feel with this energy, the boy or the warrior or the elder. And allow these two aspects to stand side by side. Do you feel they are in union? Do you feel they stand apart? Do you feel these two aspects within you understand each other? Or perhaps they are misunderstood? But at this moment, take your time to get to know, speak to, and ask questions of this feminine and this masculine aspect of yourself. If you have imagined a maiden, that you are more in the maiden energy, ask her why. If you feel you are more in your warrior aspect of the masculine, ask him why. Ask what the masculine needs from the feminine at this time. Ask what your feminine needs from your masculine at this time. How can we get them to work together? These two parts of you, sometimes one more dominant than the other, but we're just observing. And take your time with this. Remember that you can come back to this space, to this meditation at any time. If you need to gather more information from your feminine and from your masculine. And remember that every time you do this meditation, perhaps you are in a different aspect of the masculine and a different aspect of the feminine. And it goes to show that our energy is neither stagnant. It is always moving, always shifting, always changing. But when you have gathered the information that you need for your healing, for your understanding, go ahead and thank the feminine for coming through today. Thank the masculine for coming through today. And if you feel it in your heart to do so, allow the two halves to embrace. And when you are ready, bring your awareness back into your body. Taking a nice deep breath and exhale, wiggling your fingers and your toes, maybe even having yourself a little stretch. All right. And here we are. Thank you, Mr. Dragon. Okay. Okay, let me move him back over here. Wow, what a fun live chat, you guys. I had so much fun with it, you guys. I had fun with our DIY, slinging some cards, just chit-chatting with you guys. This was great. I can't wait to hang out with you guys next Sunday. Remember that the channeling for tomorrow is on spirit attachments, actually. And our interviewers will be my nephew Tamron and his father, my best friend Tone. So that should be a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoy it. Definitely going to try out new things with my channeling videos this year, and wanting to add in again my deck reviews because I miss doing those. Those were a lot of fun. So thank you again, guys. Lady Knight says, makes me want to watch Dragon Heart. Suma, we can definitely catch you next Sunday when we do our super chats and super stickers for our questions. But of course, if you would like a actual like reading, like I have one card readings on my website. I also have 30-minute readings. I have mediumship readings. I have one-on-one channelings. Definitely go check it out. The website link is down below. Silver Star saying hello, and Stormy Fever says thank you. Fun Sunday, fun day. Yay! And Silver Star says beautiful live. Thank you, Tara. It was so much fun hanging out with you all. Sending you hugs to each of you. Have a beautiful day, week, and year. Yes, have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day and week and year. Catch you guys later. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out. Bye, guys.